Hi, I'm James with FPSGeneral, and I'm here with Nick Beliaeff, the head of development at Trion Worlds, specifically working on Defiance. For those of you at home who don't know what Defiance is, Nick's gonna tell you.
It is an open world third-person shooter where players take on the role of an Ark Hunter in the city of San Francisco to create their fortune in the world. They can play on the PC, the PlayStation 3, or the Xbox 360. And oh, by the way, also interact with the television show on Sci-Fi.
This town is worth fighting for.
A man protects his home and his family.
I do these things so our son never has to.
April 2nd.
Yes.
That's the big day.
We flick the server switch to go April 2nd, midnight.
The big red button, push it, and everything
It's
goes
green
crazy.
button.
Green.
Yeah, red
Yes.
bad, green good.
Okay. Especially when we're talking about server statuses. I saw the show, and I can't say anything about it, but I did see it. And I will have zero expression on my face, so no communication will, they won't get any kind of information. Let's talk about how the game is going to stay current with the show, because the show is going to go into season 2, season 3. I'm sure that's the plan. So, DLC releases, are we going to kind of see this progression of the entire world shifting time and keeping current with the show, or is a level 1 guy coming in going to be in season 1, and then he hits level 50, he's now in season 2, and so on and so forth?
Sure. So in the game, we sort of tell two different stories, and there's the story of the player and the player's avatar as it goes through the world, and then there's the world itself as it moves through time. So the player, the story of the player is really unique to them, and while there are some crossovers in the unique story to the player, they're ones that we can be okay with a horseshoes and hand grenades approach, meaning close counts, right? And it doesn't need to be, hey, the episode finished at 10 o'clock, so at 10:01 this happens to your character. And then there's the story of the world changing over time and what happens whether you're there or not. That world counterclock is in step with the show. And so whether you're 1 or level 50, the world's absolute place in time carries you with it.
There's also, it's a massive open world, as you've said a bunch of times, but players can get around that by using these vehicles that they can spawn at pretty much any time.
Yes.
And there's not just one. Can you tell us about, there's one in particular I'm thinking about that may have involved a partnership with a...
Sure. So for us, you're in a big, broad, open world. San Francisco Bay Area, last time I checked, is pretty goddamn big. You need wheels.
Yeah, you
right?
need some wheels. Yeah. You need a roller.
So yes, good.
All right.
Very well played. From the beginning of the game on, you start with a vehicle. You don't have to worry about getting it at some later date. You start with it. You're an adult. You're past 16. You have keys. Start out with an ATV. Work your way up. But one of the key things that you can earn in game is a Dodge Challenger. And we have some pretty badass Dodge Challengers of the future. They are the fastest vehicle in the game, and they are just a sweet ride.
Kind of like the Mad Max version. This is the Dodge Challenger for the world of Defiance, and
yes,
it kind of fits the tone.
It is really good for rolling over things. It's very durable. People, hellbugs, miners, you call it, it's gonna wreck it.
Cool. We're talking about minors, not like minors like children, but...
No.
Right.
With an E, not a O.
Okay, that's a very important distinction.
Yes.
There's no monthly fee.
No.
There's a base cost associated with the game, and then in lieu of a monthly fee, there is a microtransaction system that players can either choose to or not choose to engage in. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe what's going to be available on those?
Sure. It's a mix of things. We really look at, there's 3 different buckets. There are boosts. These are things that allow you to earn experience at a faster rate, or script, which is the earned currency at a faster rate, or things like that. So it doesn't make the game easier for you, it just increases the reward when you are successful. At the end of the day, Defiance is a shooter is a game of skill, and it's very important for us that we never compromise this being a skill game. And I think one of the things Defiance does really, really good for shooters is it brings scale to play modes that haven't necessarily seen scale. So we have a mode called Shadow War, which while you're in the open world, it's open world capture and hold.
So it's PvP.
Absolutely.
Right.
But it's PvP with hundreds of people playing at once, and it's in the open world, so you have emergent behaviors because there's all the computer AI there as well.
Yeah,
so
the
you and
creatures
I may be in opposite teams. The Hellbug doesn't care. The Hellbug cares that
he's still mad.
yeah,
Okay.
and he's mad that we're in a territory and he wants to grease us. So you have unique decision making where, hey, maybe you haven't seen me. I've got a lineup for a sweet headshot, but I'm about to get greased by 4 Hellbugs. What do I do?
Right.
And we think that's just takes a new level to capture and hold. Then we've got our Arc Falls, and our Arc Falls is where we bring massively social to co-op. Giant pieces of the alien spaceship come to ground, and they're filled with big fat loot. So all the players are really incentive to go there, and we've also created a system to reinforce that, where the more people that go and participate in Arcfall, whether they're grouped or not, means better prizes for everybody. So here's something where we get 50, 100 more people playing co-op together in a shooter, whereas most people in most shooters playing co-op are used to 2.
2 or 4.
Yes.
Right. And on top of that, you're not just getting cool loot, but you're progressing your character along a tree. Can you tell us a little bit about the ecosystem and what that means to players?
Sure. The Ego is a device made by the Von Bach Incorporated, which is one of the big weapon suppliers within the game. You can go to vonbach.com and vonbachindustries.com, and they implant a device in you. And this is the thing that allows you to see neat things like health bars and the names of the enemy that you're fighting and stuff like that. And so as you power up the Ego device by what you do in game, you get more powerful abilities that help you play. And so we have things where you can send like a holographic image of yourself out as a decoy. Well, as you power up your Ego device, you can get images that are more realistic and last for longer periods of time and do more things. And that's just, an example of one thing that the Ego can do for you.
All right, so everybody can look forward to seeing this on April 2nd on
Yes.
Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. The last question, I gotta ask it, with the PS4's announcement, and a lot of the PS3 guys are like, jumping ship. They don't even care about their old console anymore. They're totally ready for this new thing. Are we going to see Defiance on the PS4 in the future?
That's a great question. Bye.
Let's hope. All right, Nick Beliaeff, thank you very much for joining me on FPS General.
All right, good seeing you again.
Take care.
Bye.